Experience in the United States Army as an immigrant.
God.
My experience in the United States Army as an immigrant. So I moved to the United States 2 years ago, 2022.
Continue.
And I spent a year, and then I said to myself, I wanted to be some part of a part of something massive, something beautiful, something good. I wanted to give back to the community. And then I asked some of my friends here, and they said to me, oh, check out the US Army. Just find out you're in the mental health space in the real world. Find out, how you can be of help in the US Army. And I said, okay, that sounds like a good deal. So I found a recruiter, and then I went to his office, pretty kind gentleman, and he walked me through. I finally enlisted on Valentine's Day 2024, and I was shipped to camp in April. Before I was shipped to camp, I was excited. I was on honeymoon. I was so high, so excited. Like I was screaming. I was over the roof. I'm doing something massive. I'm doing something good. I'm going to be a part of something large. Just,
Yeah, you for talk am since now.
something really good. Like I was giving it back to back, just happy and excited. And then landed at camp April 1st. And the moment I landed, I got into the reality zone. Yeah, power change hands, so sweet, so fast, so smooth. Thanks to the drill sergeants. The drill sergeants are in charge of soldiers. Power change hands immediately. And I'm like, it's about to go down. And then from April 1st to June 15th, I was on camp for 10 solid weeks. Man, it was massive. It was something else. It was intense. I almost dropped out. Yeah, I didn't mind. I almost dropped out.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
I was struggling with my weapons. I didn't know how to fire, but finally I qualified, and I was so happy that I did. Thanks to some good drill sergeants also. I'm so happy that I did. But man, those 10 weeks were crazy. 10 weeks, I cried. Oh, I was crying half of the time. Yeah, I was crying half of the time. Man, I joined when I was 39. So all of those wall climbing, the 2 mile runs, the ACFT, I passed the ACFT. The first one I failed because of my sprint drag. I didn't know what I was doing. The second one I passed. The third one I passed so well that I was the Iron Soldier runner of 558 over 600. 2 mile run, spring drag carry, the kettlebells and stuff, the ball throw, the T push-ups. I was maxing stuff, the plank, I was maxing. Like at that point, I was ready for the army. But man, 10 weeks, I almost died. I almost passed on. I almost relocated to heaven.
Jesus! Jesus!
When I was done with the 10 weeks, I cried, I wept. I'm like, oh, okay, what's next? And then they said AIT. Basic combat training. I forgot the combat in the basic. The 10 weeks, I faced combat. Then I went to AIT. AIT is the Advanced Independence Training, where you're going to be trained as a professional alongside being a soldier. So remember, I joined to be in the army, so I was getting trained as a mental health professional for the army and in the army. And then I was still performing my military duties of being a soldier, being fit, doing everything I needed to do. Man, I was there for 19 weeks. So in total, I was stuck with them for 29 weeks. 19 weeks of pain, of what felt like terror. Because guess what? I was combining reading and passing exams, and that thing was tough because sometimes you wake up as early as 3 o'clock, 3 a.m., go to bed at 10, you had back-to-back work. It was crazy. 19 weeks of intensive, like till the final day, you had field trips, man, it was crazy.
Just in case you have plans. Hey!
And then you had counseling. So counseling would mean disciplinary action if the drill sergeants tell you to do something and you don't do it, or you don't do it like they want you to do it. Like, oh man. And then sometimes when your battle buddies, who are your colleagues also in the military, trainees like you, who get in trouble, all of you get in trouble together. One person just decides to malfunction, and all 300 or 350 or 400 of us are going down together. Man, I don't know, but those 17, 18, 19-year-olds were there to enjoy their lives and catch some fun. Those young geese, oh God. Man, I saw heaven and hell at the same time. At the same time. I almost dropped out because I joined at 39. I'm 40 now, so there were some things that, man, they weren't easy for me to pull through, but I did them. And then I finally graduated. So remember, I was Iron Soldier runner up at basic combat training, and then for my class, I also graduated with almost like a 95% GPA. It was 94 point something, but it came at a huge cost. I cried, I messed up several times. It came at a huge cost. But 29 weeks of being in the barracks and on camp, would I do it again? No. But I'm grateful for all the experiences. Man, I'm grateful that I'm in the army. Like anybody who knows me, I flaunt it, I do all of this. I don't want to go back to those experiences, but I'm grateful. Yeah, those experiences brought out a lot of goodies in me, but I don't want to do 29 weeks anymore. I don't even want to do one day. No, I don't want to go back to those experiences, but I love everything that I became. And I liked the drill sergeants, even though it was crazy while you're there. Now that I'm watching from outside, I'm like, okay, yeah, I get it, I get it, I get it. But man, it was crazy. It was something else. I like the experiences. I'm so proud to be in the US Army. And then when you're talking about the military, you're talking about the Air Force, the Navy, and the Army. So if you want to join us, you're welcome on board. Welcome home. Check out Air Force, check out Navy, check out the US Army, and check where exactly you're going to be a good fit. And as an immigrant, it was tough because it was my first encounter into the United States culture, and the first time that I was really going to be with other people from other places, teenagers, young adults, and then me going as a full-blown adult who has a company, a job, who has staff. The entire experience was good, and I had different culture shocks, the American culture shock, the military culture shock, everything. But I'm grateful for everything. Like, I am grateful for everything, for the tears, for the pain, for the joy, for the laughter, for everything. I am really grateful. And if you want to join and you're thinking, should I join? I've heard terrible things about it, this and that. Trust me, yes, I know what you heard. I saw that nobody could have explained the US Army to me. They couldn't have told me what I was going to encounter. But I encountered those things, and I'm grateful that I encountered those things. And Drew Sergeants, you guys drew the hell out of us. You did. You almost took our lives, but I'm grateful. And thank you. And see you next week, because I'm going to drop some other hot things about the US Army. I love them. I'm going to drop different good things about all of us. Thank you to everybody serving, and to everybody who has gone ahead of us. Thank you to all the veterans. Come on board, join the Army, join the Air Force, and join the Navy. Talk to you next week, Friday. Is another spicy hot video.